So this is today's live on Equa Television International. We're so glad that you could join us on today's edition of the program. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, and we'd like you to join this conversation. A lot of you out there, especially women, have been complaining. This man brings nothing to the table. He's a low-value man. He is lazy, unmotivated, indisciplined. He's liberal about sex and all of that. Join this conversation. Drop your comments. We want to converse with you. Tell us what you think about low value men. Should we have them around us, or should we just fling them? So let's talk. This is today's life. My name is Joyce Jakada, and I have engineer Tony J. Nakali, who is a highly valued man. And he'll be giving
cloth, you know where you hung it. That's a sign of
it's
problem.
called style.
That's the first sign of
It's
problem.
called style.
Today's show is not a discussion, it's a debate.
No problem. I'm in. Jamima,
Chop that
and
knock with
someone-
solo, your brother.
I've warned him before the show. I said you should not even dare try to attack me on this show.
But he will chop knock with
Let's
you.
just discuss. Sambo Sulomo, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Joyce.
Okay.
I'm ready for you today.
Wow, you are
Yes.
ready for me,
Very,
and you are ready to
very
discuss. I thought we were going to enlighten and educate our viewers. Which one is you are ready
Well,
for
you
me?
told them now
Are you
that
a
you
low
warned
value
me
man?
before now,
Man.
right? That's what she said.
You have established the protocol.
So let's talk. Let's
Joyce,
talk
how
about.
are you?
I'm good.
You asked us, nobody asked you.
I'm
And because
fine.
I care about you.
Aw, I hope this
But
girl
that
continues
dress-
till the end of the show.
This dressing, I don't know. What
It's
it-
called style.
Or
I mean,
maybe-
is this not beautiful?
Or maybe the top is torn on the shoulder. What are you covering?
I'm covered by the blood of Jesus already. I don't need to cover anything. I want us to talk about low value men. Like I've
Must this Wednesday shows be about men?
we talk about
No, there
women
are
as
some
well.
that
But
we're about
I
to
thought the
hear.
men are the head now.
Everything
They are
men,
the
That is
leaders.
true. We have
men,
to
men,
start
men.
with them.
Okay.
We are watching.
So generally, when you talk about value, it's bringing.
I
what?
thought you are the one anchoring the show. Ask
Yes.
us questions. What
No,
are you
I want to
explaining?
give a
We are the
preamble
ones to
so that
explain.
you not go another way. I will not start hearing low value women instead. I don't want to start hearing women are foolish. I want us to stick to the topic. So generally when you talk about value, give value to the table is like bringing like your worth. Somebody that builds, somebody that makes something blossom, somebody that contributes. So, but today you find out in relationship, both the married and unmarried, you find out partners complaining generally about each other. But today, for the sake of this conversation, we're looking at the men. Who are those men that's like attacked low value? In most cases, for some women,
We
they'll
don't know.
okay. For some
We
women,
don't know them. Solo do you know any man that is low value?
I
okay.
think women would know better.
Okay, so
So
no problem.
Explain what you mean
We are
by
equal
low
to the
value man.
tax.
What is a low value man?
A man that brings nothing to the table. I mean, somebody that displays the
In the
characteristics
absence
of
of a table,
irresponsibility.
where do you keep what you have?
He doesn't multiply anything. Such men multiply nothing.
Before you talk about bringing something to the table,
Table.
shouldn't there be a table?
Same way there should.
There's a table already now.
Where?
In the relationship, there's a table. So, but it's not bringing anything. Instead,
So
it's
every
decreasing.
relationship there is a
There's a
table.
table.
There should be a table.
Thank God
However
you
you want
said
to
there
say.
should be. That means it's under probability.
Jemima, speak to us about low value
Okay,
men.
Okay,
a low
okay.
value man.
So no,
I-
Jemima will talk till 12 o'clock. You will talk till 12.
It's fine.
Oh, wow.
Who address?
They are ready.
Go ahead.
Okay, a low value man is
Your
someone
husband
that
is watching.
no, he's a high valued man.
Mr. Ima. Chop knock.
If a low value man is someone that has no self esteem, someone that does not feel good enough, someone that has inferiority complex, like he feels other people are better than him. And I think low self esteem is something that you grow with, something you grow to learn and you hold in high esteem. And because of that, it affects every other thing that that person does, ranging from relationship, from career, marriage, academics, and every phase of life, even physical activities. You see that person always withdrawing or doing certain things that should not even come up. And if this person is in a relationship or in a marriage, you find a lot of negative things occurring time and time again. And if he since we're talking about the men now, if he is not careful, it would affect the marriage in the long run. If you're a low valued man and you're willing to be open, you would become a high valued man. There are men that were of low value, and today it is something else. You build yourself, you work on yourself to see that you attain a particular level where you want to attain. If you have purpose, if you have a drive that is taking you to a particular destination, you don't get to a junction and say, I want to drop here, whereas that was not where you planned to go in the first place. If you have that principle, that purpose, that drive, all those views that you know that this is where you want to go to, and you go there, that is a high
Joyce,
valued man.
What will lead a woman to rating a man low value?
From the things you see him do,
Okay. Like what?
his thinking,
Number one.
capability,
Okay. Two,
his actions,
three,
his decisions,
4.
his choices.
Do you think there are women that don't care if a man is like that?
Yeah.
So will they call that kind of person a low valued man?
You see, there are standards that are morally acceptable, and there are those that are not acceptable.
Who set those standards?
So, okay.
No, who set those standards?
Based on your belief, based on your ideology.
Do
where
you
you're
know?
standing.
Do you want to be honest, Joyce?
Sure,
I've asked you this
sure.
question on today's life.
Mm.
What is your ideal rating for a man? What should a man be for you?
Like you said, it's for me.
Yes, for you. Say it for you. Who should be a man? Like what should a man that you just see and say, this should be my husband?
High value man.
Explain it.
Somebody that is not lazy.
Somebody that is not lazy.
Yes. Somebody
You are
that is-
bringing your voice down now. I want to hear you loud. Somebody that is not lazy. I struggle to
Somebody-
hear that one.
Somebody that is unmotivated.
It's unmotivated.
Yeah, that is not unmotivated.
Okay.
Like somebody that's like together will work and bring out the best in each other.
Okay.
You know, there are men you though you asked Joyce, Jemima have answered. So let me speak.
No,
on-
I want to know. I want to know.
Uh,
These are the three things that
I
you
mean,
consider.
there are a lot of things. So, but
Jemima, what do you consider in a man before you go into a relationship with a man?
His responsibility and maturity.
You see, her points are way different from yours.
Mhm.
So who set your own standards?
I set my standard based on where I stand.
You set your standard. Who set your standard?
I did.
There's nothing like morally right.
No,
Honestly.
there are certain things that are morally acceptable.
No,
generally
for you.
Mm.
For you. Haven't you seen a woman who is saying her husband is a drunk, is this, is that, but that's the love of her life? She has accepted who
True,
he is.
true. There
She
are.
doesn't care what is morally accepted out there.
Mhm.
Certain people, right? They will tell you sex is not all there is for me.
Mm.
But some other women will say, me, I will go and look for the money. That sex, I will not do. I can't do without it. I will go and look for the money and feed the family. If he likes, let him stay at home and be doing it money out. That is what I want. There are women like that. They may be few. But you see, when we're talking about men that have low value, we should look at men that disregard the ideal concept of God as to creating a man.
I think we're saying the same thing, because if you talk about ideal, you're still talking.
Okay. No, I didn't know we are saying the same thing. Explain.
I mean,
Because even you are thinking we are saying the same thing. Because you say you think we are saying the same thing. So
yeah,
explain.
I mean, we are all guided by our beliefs, though we cannot say
That
generally.
means we are not saying the same thing.
Okay.
Because your belief and what the word of God says, they are two different things. Why did God create man?
Okay, I'm a Christian.
Okay,
And that's
so
why I
why-
said, because
why
I
did God
believe you're
create
also
man?
a Christian. That's what I'm saying. From that
No, what I am
standpoint.
is my business. You have
Okay.
said what you are. don't say
That's
tell
just
me who I am.
it's on that basis that I said we are saying the same thing.
I'm the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus.
On Christ the solid rock I stand.
Okay.
Wow.
So yes, I'm the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. So you what is the idea? What's the reason why God made man?
That's a different topic entirely. Are we going to theology?
It's not theology. I'm saying the general reason.
I thought you said there's nothing general. What? It's always relative.
Okay. Why did God say, I made you, Adam?
He created him in his own image and likeness,
Why?
and so that he can fulfill his will here
What
on
is
earth.
his will? He told man to go and multiply.
Of course, there are a lot of
He told
things.
man to provide.
There are
He
a lot
told
of
man
things-
to be in charge.
Mhm.
He told man to do this. So what else are we looking at in a man?
Mm.
Anything short of what God has said
Mm.
is the reason why he made man.
Mm.
Anything short of that,
Mm.
we will tag you as a low value man.
Exactly, and that's why earlier on I
And
was
when
talking
we
about
say-
a lazy
Did
person.
you notice I'm in the middle of a conversation? You're always rude. Shut up and listen.
Go ahead.
You're still talking. After I said shut up and listen, you should just shut up and listen. What is your problem?
This morning,
It's
This morning-
relative. Oh.
She's still talking. Why are bougie girls like that?
You
So,
have the floor. Go ahead.
You see, Joyce, I think they say one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Mhm.
If you look at, I think anytime we come up with a topic, let's be neutral about dealing with it. If we have personal opinion as to the topic, let's say personally, this is what I feel. So we don't get people guided by what we feel and make it the generally accepted standard. No. Anything we say on today's life is based on what we believe.
Mhm.
If you pick something that can help you as an audience, if you pick something that can help you and you are running with it, it's fine. It's not necessary that everything we say must be followed, you know. And this is not to say that I am disregarding what you are saying. No, it's what you believe, and that is your standard for a man. Believe me, somebody is watching you, right, saying, what is this girl saying? Man, na man, Jare. I'm almost 40, man never come. Even if I see the one that is not responsible, if they will just call him my husband.
I'm okay.
So, but we are just trying to let people know. If you are saying, there's no way you can talk about low-leveled men and not talk about the women that are setting the standards for the men. What made a man low-level is because there is the presence of a woman.
Sees him that way.
Some of them are low level without a woman
No,
involved.
you don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying. Does it bother you that a man is low-leveled as a woman?
It does.
Does it bother you? That's because you are a woman. If there is no woman, Solo will not be bothered that another man is low level because he has nothing to do with him intimately. Oh, the place is so quiet. You could hear a plant grow. You could hear a plant grow. Because that's the truth. Women are the ones setting these standards, directly or indirectly. Look at me. I'm not be able to make my hair. When you were single and you didn't have a man, who were you complaining to? Let's look at these things truly. Because women have made men so pressurized. You have gotten us to the level that we are so pressured that we don't even feel safe. We don't call house home anymore. I'm going house. Even when you say I'm going home, when you get there, it's not home. Because you know, behind those smiles, there are fights. You cannot just raise standards disregarding the level of your man and call him a low-leveled man. No, you can't. I'm not saying that's what you are doing. But I'm just talking to the women that this topic concerns. Because you are saying low-leveled men. It's not for the men, it's for the women. If your husband or your man is at the level of 50,000 naira monthly, if he lives short of that, if he lives short of that, I don't know what to say, but if you want the man to live like he's earning 200 and he does not live that way and you call him low-leveled man, is that justifiable?
No.
It's not. But we're just saying that why are you feeling like you chose the wrong topic for the
No,
day?
not at all.
You are looking miserable.
I'm just
Cheer up, sister. Cheer up. Cheer
no,
up.
you are just giving your point of view or perspective.
I understand you.
And
You
I have,
actually you,
I have
you
a different
on the show.
perspective
On
to
the show,
this.
you have never accepted
I have
what
a
I say.
different
But you have a
perspective to this.
notebook. You go and watch and start using my.
I
I
have-
see you
I-
using my materials.
I have a different
I
point of
always
view.
see you using my materials.
After the show, right?
Later she will forget and say it was Engineer Tony Nakari that said,
I have a
and it's
different
5 years ago. It's
perspective.
still in her head.
I have a different
But
perspective.
honestly, right? Honestly, in all honesty, every woman should set a standard for who her man should be. And should explain it to the man. You are afraid of saying it because you know we'll leave you. Explain it. Martha, stop laughing. You are on the camera. I'm warning you. You are laughing. You are recording us. You are laughing. You are collect, Abi. Let's be a holy talk for a while.
Yes.
I'm from the south side of heaven. You don't know. Gombe South. In my physical state, I'm from the south. In the heaven, I am from the south side of heaven. You never hear any preacher preach that way. Me and John the Baptist were the same clan. South side of heaven. Do you understand, Joyce? Yes, you are in a relationship with a man. Let that man know your standards. No, he should not just understand your body language. He should know what love means to you, and all of these things are together. On Wednesdays, we talk about this deeply, and I'm happy that there are so many people that are learning from this, right? Your standards vary. Like women, your standards vary. Like what she wants in a man. You're like, is that just what you want? Me, my own list is long, he must be this. You will start listing something that even in the Bible we have not seen any man like that. What is wrong with that? There's nothing. There's nothing.
It's a standard.
It's your standard. There's nothing. We are just concerned that you wait for a long time for a man. Well, that's just it. But I think if we're talking about low level, I'm not disregarding the fact that there are men who have it, but they are irresponsible in terms of taking care of wife, children, and all that. I can't disregard that. As a matter of fact, I was having a conversation with my wife this morning before I left. We did a small deal with a friend, with few friends of mine. And the day that we were sharing the money, the guy got the money to his account. He was sharing to everybody. One of us just said, transfer it to my wife. He said it's been over a month that I've not had a dime to give her. He said, give everything to her. And then he called her account number. I told my wife, I said I stepped out because I was about, you understand, I got so emotional. He said it's over a month now. She's been the one up and about. All my contacts fail and all. Even this business, I joined you guys reluctantly. And then he said, send it to my wife. And then he sent it. Then he called her. He was trying to call her. Then she called him. He said, she saw money. He said, yes, so someone. He said, yes. He said, that deal that we did. He said, that's my share. I just gave you your account number. Pay the school fees. Buy the food stuff. Clear this part of our rent. Do this and do that and do this and do that. She said, some will remain. He said, keep it. 5,000 naira like this, he did not remove from his pocket for himself. And that was how he sat after they shared the whole money. You know, some women, I'm bringing that to teach. Some women, that 1 month period that he did not bring anything, he will receive the insult of his life. But you see, it's not his wish not to bring anything. And he was keeping late nights in the midst of that, hoping there'll be, because he told me that there was one day he called someone. The person said, my brother, just wait. I'm entering a meeting. When I'm out, I'll call you. So he hung around that person's office till past 11. The call never came. Never came till today. So he anticipated this one that we called him and said, this is what we want to do. He was reluctant and he joined. And suddenly, we did it a day. In 2 days' time, the money came out. And the guy that the money came through, he was giving everybody by transfer. And instead of him to give his account number, he gave his wife's account number. It touched me. The whole of it. And the wife said, all these things that this money that I said, all these things that are a problem for us, this money will take care of them even more. He said, keep the rest with you and be spending. He said, I don't know when next I will have money. I stepped out. I told myself and I went back in. You see, some men are trying real hard. It sounds like I'm lecturing, but it's the truth. If it has to take you long to explain something that is meaningful, do it. Some men are trying real hard to impress their wives. I know of a friend. Well, I met him through a very close friend of mine and we have been bonding. He's always going to Abuja. And I'm like, this guy, things are working out. He will fuel his car, and I full tank, I'll be on my way to Abuja. We didn't know until recently we found out that there was a woman he was going to meet and she's rich. So she's helping him financially while he's helping her emotionally, if you understand what I mean. So that he can keep up at home. So we found out recently and we talked about it and we didn't see him for over a month. He's working so hard. He's not bringing food. The wife is a uniform person. She's bringing food home and she's disrespecting him. So he went out of his way to supply food at home. You see, there are certain pressure that women can push a man just so that he can live up to the name she gave him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just so that he the man can live up to the name that the woman gave him. Joyce, what are the boundaries we should not cross as men to prove a point to women?
You see, I must honestly give it to men out there that are really responsible and living up to the calling of God upon their lives. I said it earlier on the show that you are one
so why won't you
high
give
value
this example with my name?
I said it. I'm still talking. So you see, I must give it to them because I
using
see
me as an example.
I see their efforts.
Wow, I'm irresponsible.
No, now
Jemima,
I see their efforts and I acknowledge it.
Am I or my eye irresponsible?
Why is the English scattering at this point?
Because you come after spending money at home, you come and call me that instead of you to use me to the example.
I mean, there are a lot of you out there that are doing
so
well. I have a father that some weeks back, I think you were in the picture, I shared how that he was struggling. He had issues with his leg and all. And while we were really concerned about, you need to stay and rest, he said he has to resume work. And when he left, I was just thinking, okay, he said he can't drive, so he would just take public transport. So imagine how
Why
that...
don't you drive?
I know I can't. He works outside the state, but yet he tried to see how that he comes home
Outside
weekend.
the state?
Outside the local government where we stay. So, but he will still go, and weekend he comes, how that he can just get paid or get the contract done and he just sends the money. And I was just thinking alone and I was like amazed how someone can be this selfless. Like we have a lot of men out there. So, you know, as children, sometimes we just keep certain face and your dad keep asking, what is it? You know that there's nothing, but because like you want some forms of support, you just, and the next you're hearing, send your account number and that
Does
just
your dad
ends.
still give you money? No,
I'm his child now.
No, your dad still give you money.
He still dash me
You are
money.
irresponsible.
I'm not.
You are working instead of you to be giving your father money.
It's vice versa. So you see,
When anybody that starts working in my house, let me hear.
this one I'm not asking for it. He's the one giving.
But you are showing that you are.
But you keep face somehow.
So you
so
see,
that they will ask
honestly, there are a lot of men, and I must acknowledge, I'm not against those men that are working
So
real
do
hard.
guy kina someone tell lefi.
They are working real hard.
Tell if you go to
Yeah.
tell if you go to
Then
Philip.
you
They are working real hard, but you know, we will not disregard the fact that there are men also out there that are tagged low value. Why are they called low value men? Even though we know that these things are relative, because while you see it as relative, another person see that this is top notch for me. But why am I saying low value? If you leave anything below the standard or your calling as a man, as far as like the Bible is concerned, there's a calling upon. There's a calling upon.
Examples.
Okay, there's a calling upon the man's life to lead, to be the head. Is a position of responsibility. You are a provider. See, this thing
Is this fact acknowledged by women?
It is.
At what point should a man lose the respect of being a head?
he should not lose his respect at
Why
any point.
is he disrespected just because he could not provide?
So I think it's just
Or
peculiar to
just
the kind
because,
of women
or just
that they.
because he's incapacitated to
I-
provide at that
It's
point.
just peculiar to the kind of women they end up
See
with.
what I said
the kind
earlier
of
that you
women they
refused. See
settle
what
with.
I said? Maybe the English was too big. Are you do you understand? Maybe what I am saying is because I can't speak the
I
kind
mean,
of
I'm from
English.
Plateau State, not Gombe, so it's
That's why it's hard for you to understand.
no.
I have to simplify every process for you. Do I have to break my English to swallowable particles for you to understand me?
It's just peculiar to the kind of
Kila so
women they,
kiture chiko kibia ankali.
to the kind of women they settle with. You
Why
know,
are you pointing solo? How will they settle with you pointing solo? There's no woman that is married to a Gombe man that regrets.
wait.
Okay, you have been divorced. So what is the way all about?
Word of mouth testimonies.
Huh? See, Eli, he's struggling with. There are plenty in his life. He doesn't know who to choose. They are rushing the guy.
Wow.
Because
They are disturbing him.
Oh, there
Look
is
at
none.
Victor that did not even. He's not from Gombe, but he grew up there. See how you know?
But they know where he's from, right?
No, but look at
Those ladies that are
Ooh.
struggling.
No, they know that he has the water of Gombe in his.
See,
know,
you know
the
some
water
culture.
of-
Let me advise
see-
such
you
ladies.
see-
Culture has great influence. Environment has influence on people. So while you are deciding or you're tripping or you're crushing, go and check history of. In the meantime, low value men.
History of what?
History
The
of what?
complete your statements.
Wow.
In
were
the
okay.
meantime,
So many people are interested.
honestly, we have low value men out there. People that
Low
living.
sperm count, men. Low income, men.
Men.
Low blood pressure, men. Everything low is men. High taste, women. High class, women. High level, women.
I mean, this is not a debate. It's not supposed to be a debate.
But,
It's
but
not
me,
supposed to
me,
be
I
a
look
debate.
at it this way.
Please.
Any man,
See, everywhere is quiet.
any, you know,
Quiet.
it always takes time for me to talk. So whenever I want to talk,
You
the
have
whole place will be like, you know,
professor.
no, don't go there. I warned you earlier.
All right.
I'm ready for you.
Well noted.
Ta.
No fight. No fights accepted or said.
Okay.
Query waiting.
I see it this way. Any man that is irresponsible, that falls short of the standard why he's created, I feel the person he's a low value man. But there is a point you make, and I think that point is very vital. You can't set those standards without the people that see it and project it and give it name, which are the women. Because anywhere you find man, you find woman. And the idea of God is for two to come together and establish his purpose. So that means the two will work together. And in this case, you always find, anywhere you find a low value man, you always find a low value woman. Because any woman that can accommodate, let me put it that way, can accommodate such man that the society feels like he's a low value man, you always level them at the same level. So if you see that man as a low value man and he's with a woman, they are in the same level.
So she's the one that made him low value.
Not really, but they are working together to fulfill whatever.
I mean, I Sambo Solomon, we should not give excuses for our
No.
erroneous lifestyle. Are you aware
See-
that on the last day you give account?
That one is there.
Joyce.
Like,
Joyce.
No, you know why I'm saying this? Because
Joyce.
I've had a lot of men.
You are
Oh,
hitting
Joyce, if in the absence of a car, why is the fuel important?
Like, we
Do you
live in a
understand the
world
point?
where
No, do you understand the point? Is it not
I've-
the same
I've
Bible that
had-
says the poor you will always have with you?
I've had people always give excuse. Okay, let me
Joyce, why
bring
do
this
they
example.
Why do they say for better for worse?
Let
in
me
marriage?
bring this
Give me-
example.
tell me why they say for better for worse in marriage.
You decide to be with each other now.
So tell
It's
me,
a
why
decision.
is it for better, for worse?
I'm going to answer that, but
No,
before
answer it
then,
now.
let
Oh,
me
you don't
just.
have a healthy retentive
I'm
memory?
going to
Huh?
answer that, but
Huh?
before then,
Huh?
let me just ask this question. You know,
To
this
who?
this
Who are you asking?
example,
You're asking
you
your
and
boss.
Sambo Solomon, because it's supporting the point you made earlier on. I've seen and I've had cases of men that are married that will tell you that the man has every right to go outside and sleep because the woman is the cause of it. How is she a cause? Then the man will tell you that the man will tell you that he tried touching his wife
I'm
and
not
she denied
justifying
him.
any man that is irresponsible in that sense.
It's just an
But
example.
I
now.
That's not
dealing
God
with
calling.
this issue. I'm dealing
That's
with
not
this
God
issue.
calling.
You are talking about infidelity, but I am dealing with this issue from the reason why I am called a man. If I fall short of that reason, I am irresponsible.
So in
And
this
what does falling short
instance
mean?
now,
What does falling short mean? I don't have a job. I'm working real hard to get a job. In the midst of not having a job, I still go out to look for. But I don't get. I get, but it's not much. And the woman is used to that lifestyle when I used to have. Why should I be blamed for a natural inadequacy in my
That's
life?
the point.
no, that one is the woman's shortfall. Like, it's something that is is her nature.
But that is the point we are talking about. When I told you earlier that this point that you brought, this topic that we are discussing about low-leveled men, right? Am I paraphrasing it? Low-valued men. If we are talking about men that have low value, what is the yardstick for measuring this value in the absence of women?
My point here is this.
There's
We
still
live-
a
we-
yard.
You started speaking in
There
tongues
is.
in Ekwa.
We just live in a world where a lot of excuses. People make excuse for their erroneous
No,
lifestyle.
I'm talking about reality, Joyce. I'm
yes,
talking
I
about
understand
reality.
your point of
You just
view.
made a point about
And that was
your
why
dad.
earlier on
you
I
made
said-
a point about your dad.
Yes.
In the lifestyle, in your history as a family, can you swear or not swear? Can you be real with us that there were times that your father could not afford?
There was a time that my father was out of job.
Who looked down on him as a
Nobody.
family?
In fact, nobody.
Do you know, Joyce? Do you know that my mother was earning 800 naira at some point as a missionary? She was working with Great Commission movement. She was earning 800 naira. My father was not was out of. They were working, but they were not paid for over 3 or 4 years. Just Steel Rolling Company. That company it crashed. They stopped production. People were not paid. It was a steel Ministry of Mines and Steel, or whatever do you call them, Power and Steel or something. They could not pay these people. My mother's 800 was what we fed on. I did not see my dad as an irresponsible person. At some point, my father was the only person that federal government took to Germany for training in Nigeria. And my father stayed there for long, and he was coming and was going, and I was seeing him like a hero. So just that time, the federal government still decided to be negative. After being positive for long, they decided to be negative. I'll look down on my dad. No, I started rearing pigs. I started selling kunu. I started doing laborer work. I was in school then. Who would have paid? I didn't look at that as an excuse. And I watched my father. I think I've even said it on today's life. My father is the kind of person they will pay salary. He will bring it on the table. I've said it on today's life and say, "To, Anyibia." I have never done that in my life. Because my wife and my mother are not the same people. And me and my father were not the same. Even though we came. So when we want to talk about money, we are different. Me, I want my money quiet somewhere. You don't have to know how much is there. If you have a need, I give you. If I don't have, we wait. But you don't have to know how much is there. That part of we are one does not exist in my amen.
Or joint account.
And if my wife is watching, I still love her more than I did yesterday. But that one issue, leave it the way it is. Let's keep loving each other in the absence of accounting and auditing.
I mean, no woman
Having
should
said
disrespect her
Having
husband.
said that, Joyce, I have watched people who told my mom certain things. Your husband closes this time, but he's not at home. Where is he going? He doesn't have money.
Doesn't have money.
So So because you don't have money, you must be imprisoned. I have so many rich people as friends. I have sat in their company in the absence of a dime. I never even used my face to show them that I didn't have money. Because, Joyce, let's learn that this life, somebody will be giving you money in the name of help. Tomorrow when you hear stories about you, you will dislike the day you met that person. You will curse the day you met that person. That is why I like it when you are with your wife. In the absence of cash, live as though there is. In the absence of plenty, enjoy it while it lasts. Because the Bible says, enjoy prosperity whenever you can. When hard time strikes, realize that God gives one as well as the other. So, you are not created to always be in the possession of physical cash. Doesn't make you a poor man in the absence of it. But that is what I want us to understand. If we are rating a man short who a man is or what a man should be, let us consider the factors that we are using to measure this yardstick. Or the factors that have become a yardstick rather for measuring these facts.
But are you aware that there are men that are lazy?
Who said no?
Okay. Are you also aware that there are men that are weak emotionally?
Plenty.
Are you also aware that there are men that are liberal as far as sex is concerned, even though married? That's why earlier on I was saying, my point is,
I am aware, Joyce.
take responsibility for your actions.
Joyce, but you
While
see,
we are
I am
saying
not,
behind,
I'm not saying this. I told you from the beginning to be a debate. I was not prophesying, but because of the topic that you brought, this is a very sensitive topic. Some people are wrong. They are not aware that this is a wrong.
Some are aware, but they don't mind.
Some are. Somebody will look at the area of sex. Somebody will have sex with his wife twice a week. He will think he's doing it well. And the woman cannot come out and say, I want this day every hour. Because he will think, every hour, where did you learn this? Or who told you that this is how it is? As a matter of fact, Bible says, do it as you please. Certain things are also as a result of our inadequacy or inadequacies to discuss certain things. You are ashamed to tell your husband, me, this thing is every day I want to. Whatever you do, even if you come back home late, you must do this thing for me before I sleep. Some women will not even ask for sex. They will ask for wrapper. They will say, it's been 2 weeks since you bought me a wrapper. 2 weeks, madam, you are complaining. Have you made that one? Is still with tailor. Buy another one. So you see, it depends on what your wife use as a measurement for being a strong person. In your house now, your husband knows, if I do this, my wife will be happy. He knows, he just knows. When he's coming back, come with suya. I met a woman who told me, this bread, if you bring it to me, even if you don't have food, buy bread and bring. It makes me happy. Bread like this, you are 1,005, buy bread. So you, if they bring bread, you'll be like, is this what? I beg, go and eat that bread. You are different. You are different. Joyce, there are men that are aware that their family at home are suffering. The problem that the family is going through at home is not up to 20,000, but he has 1 million in his account. There are men that are thinking, why should we eat chicken when it's not Christmas?
True.
There are men that are thinking, me, buy 1 bag of rice, they will misuse it. You are poor. There are men that are thinking, hey, 1 bag of rice, in less than 1 month, they will finish it. Did they throw it away? No, they ate it. They are your responsibility. There are men that are, let me say, useless on TV because they are showing us that they are. There are men that will travel to a different state and their wives will not see them and they will be sending small things and be spending much more out there.
There are some before they travel, they measure food that the family will eat and you dare not go above that. So once he counts 5 Maggi, you can't use more than that. There are men that, like, even though it is stress for some women, you go to the market yourself, it's fine. But I'm just, you gave a perfect example of such. In fact, the example you gave earlier about a man that said his wife has been catering for the home, and when he decided the money should be sent to her. There are men in that case, even after knowing that the woman has been covering up for him and not complaining, when he has the money, he will decide to just go and spend it without even, don't you know I don't have? Like, what do you call such men? That they know that there are a lot of needs, there are bills to be paid. Their children are at home because they were sent away for not paying school fees. And the man is relaxed and sleeping and telling you, well, what do you want me to do? The wife is going out to go and hustle and do, or what do you call such men? That exactly like my point. I'm not against the fact that high value men can be relative. What you are seeing as low value might be high value for another woman. But can we work on some of these weaknesses so that we don't keep justifying the reason why? If you are deciding to be lazy, let it be that you're a lazy person, not saying that it's my wife that made me lazy.
You see, the Bible have made it clear. He said, any man that cannot take care of his family, he's more than an infidel. He's worse than an infidel. So that stops it there. So if there are men like that out there, just know that if you are a Christian, just know that that is how the Bible describes you. It's as simple as that. That means for Bible to address that, there are people, even the time of Jesus, when he came, when he was alive, there are people like that. There is nothing he can do because they chose that part.
Joyce, have you ever been a man in your life?
You understand?
You have never been a man in your life. When men are telling you things about men, learn. That's why I learn about women, because I listen to a lot of women and I learn from it. The reason is because as a man, I shouldn't go to a woman and learn. But my own reason is I have never been a woman in my life. So when a woman is telling me the pain she goes through from menstruation, the pain she goes through from child's birth, the pain she goes through from taking care of children, the pain she goes through from going to the market, pricing stuff, the pain she goes through just to make sure that she lives up to that name, woman. I respect it and I learn from it because I've never had such pain. I've never had such experiences. Do you know what? When a man is telling you his own, respect it. How would you feel as a man, putting it to you now, a man that you have never been, and then you are back home and you heard your neighbor telling you the conversation you had with your wife a day or two before? These things put men off. A man finds it difficult to explain his own weakness to a fellow man. Not even his wife or a fellow man. He must carefully choose, who am I telling this?
It's true. It's true.
So, and when you say, discuss it with your wife. No. Just, she's your wife, tell her. And you finally did. And you come and hear from Mama Esther. Sir, I just want to advise you based on this thing that you are going through. Try and be saving small money so that they will not come and be frying fish with palm oil in your house. Wow, thank you. And when you go home, madam, I told you something. How come Mama Esther? Well, she just came here. What even led to that? And then you start lying. I told.
Start lying again.
It's a terrible
Keep
feeling.
it. Men, sometimes men don't trust their own women when they start hearing stuff about them from these women. How can you discuss something with your wife, or your wife is privileged to know something about you as a man, and then the whole street is aware, and you are busy greeting people? You are okay. I seen on the you know, it's private. It's a medical condition. I'm suffering. I'm going through this thing every day, and I'm happy that it's only my wife that is aware. But I'm greeting people, even eating corn and greeting you break it and share. So when they are it's wrong. You see, some men disregard any request from their women as a way of punishment because of what the women have done. A lot of men, why do you see homes breaking? If I say majority of the cause is from women now, they will crucify me. But go and check. Go and check. Yesterday, somebody was saying, Kai, our wives are really doing well. They are trying. You leave the house in the morning and at 7, you are coming back sometimes after 12 hours. 7 to 7 is 12 hours. 8 to 8 is 12 hours. But 9, 10, you come back home. And then you go back and she takes care of the home. Then somebody said, I beg, don't tell me that nonsense. Do you know what they are doing in our absence? Please don't. So I just knew that he had an experience and he's saying something. So when he was calm, I now said, So what are they doing behind her? Just GM, don't bring that issue here. He got angry. Started talking. He was angry. So I knew from what you're saying that things are happening. And there is no way. Angwa, you see this angwa. Lock your gate and give instructions. Don't come. You don't go. Stay here. I am the provider. There is nothing you should go and look for from other people. How do you feel when you come home and you hear that your wife went to the neighbor's place to get Maggie? For her, she's solving a problem. For you, it is an insult. How can you solve a problem at the expense of my integrity? You see, women don't take their thoughts that far. Call me and tell me that this thing is not there. I would rather you went to the shop where they sell it and take it as credit.
It's true.
And when I'm back, I pay. Than for you to go to the neighbor's house.
Because you start explaining first before you connect.
And when you start lying, I just came to Kuko and I found out where we ran out of. Just borrow me. And when you take it back, they say, no, just leave it. They know why they are doing that. So I think that as much as women want to see us live up to that name, head of the home, they also have a responsibility.
True.
I know I spoke all through the show. Viewers should forgive me. But I'm boiling. I'm boiling in my inside.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
To add to what you said, you know, when a man is trying real hard to see that he meet up to expectation based on what, you know, he's calling, like what the Bible says, and then you are there and you see a woman keeping your children that you and her give birth to, like trying to make the children look at the father as irresponsible father because you fall short, not by your own doing,
Not your wish.
not your wish.
No man wants to.
You
No
understand?
man is
And then
wishing
you
to fall
see
short.
that woman setting your children against you. How do you feel? How, whenever you're going back to the house, or whenever you are looking at those children that you know you are trying your real hard, you are trying real hard to give them the best, but things are not really
Let me
working
call
for
you
you.
the way Joyce calls you, Sambo Solomon.
Yes.
There are a lot of men out there that are not even bothered what the women are doing to them, but they are bothered how their children see them because of the information they receive about them. Why is that woman or such women? Why are they not thinking that tomorrow things will change for this man? Why do you think some men suddenly they become prosperous and they marry another woman? Sometimes it's because I'm not supporting that fact, but sometimes it's majorly because this woman showed me Shege Pro Max, like they say, like they used to say. She showed me Shege Pro Max when I didn't have. Now she's not
Didn't
worthy
believe.
of celebrating these riches with me. She's not worthy. So I'll bring another woman and I'll put them in the same house. By that time, you have mobile police and everybody who got watching your house. The day she raises her voice, Madam, they will use gun and warn you. Instead of using finger, they will point pistol. Madam, Madam, Madam. 3 madams is enough for the wise.
I mean, the men have really said a lot. So our time is already past.
And we should not be misunderstood.
No, at all.
We are not disregarding the fact that there are. Is it time?
you will not have time to explain yourself. It's time. Our time is actually past.
What was I saying? I must say that point before we close. We started late.
They should not be misunderstood.
They should not think that we are supporting the men. But a man is like a baby in his heart. Honestly, it's like a baby in his heart. Things worry us more than it does you. But we just don't show it up.
Man up,
We
man
just
up.
yeah, that's right. We just try to man up, but it's not like we're not going through that a lot. We do. We do. So by saying what we said does not mean men are always perfect and women are not.
No.
Try to explain to that man, this is what I want to see. I want you to build a house that is this way, have this car and buy me my own. Let the man know if he cannot, then he leaves you for Hassan. That can. If Solo cannot, Hassan shoot. If Hassan cannot, Yila shoot. If Yila cannot, Moses just shoot. You understand? So that you don't waste their time. But sit down and talk. This is what I expect of you as a man. This is also what I expect of you as a woman.
I mean, very
I
vital
wonder if we have discussed that topic.
we
that you
have
brought.
not even gone halfway, and I hope we continue maybe some other time.
Jemima,
But-
did you say anything on this show today?
She did. She
Okay.
opened the show. But what is very paramount and important is for you, the men out there, to know that the calling upon your life is that of responsibility. God did not create you or call you to be a low value man. You are created in the image and likeness of God. And so in all you do, reflect Christ. Be that responsible man that will hold your family together and ensure that you grow up and reflect the image of God. It's been awesome doing this with you. And I must not forget the women to be supportive. The Bible says you should submit, and respect is sacrosanct as far as relationship and marriage is concerned. Do not let the weaknesses of your man or his challenges make you not to respect or submit to him, but ensure that you support him. It's always said that behind every successful man is a woman. Be that woman that will uphold her husband in prayers and support him, not the one that will push her husband away. Though that's not an excuse for you to run away from your family. But let's do this tomorrow, same time. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye.